Hello and welcome to another episode of Energy Express. I'm your host, Zach Harold. We're going to begin today with Jorge Atiles. That's WVU's Dean of Extension and Engagement with a read aloud of The One Day House.
Hi, my name is Jorge Atiles, and I'm the Dean of the West Virginia University Extension Service. And I am so happy to be back with you here today. Welcome back to Energy Express. Today we're going to be reading a very interesting book. It's a book that is titled The One Day House. And if you didn't know that, when I worked as a specialist in extension, I was a housing specialist. So I am so lucky to get to talk about and read to you a book about housing. So let's get into it. The One Day House. The One Day House has many great illustrations. And it has this young man looking at a little ad there that says, "Build our neighbors. Fix a neighbor's home together." Now, this book was written by Julia Durango. You can tell it's a Spanish name, and that's my first language. So I'm excited to read something by somebody that speaks my home language too. And it was illustrated by Bianca Diaz. So, let's get started. "One day," said Wilson, "I will paint your house orange and yellow like the sun." You can see there in the illustration how you see the house painted in both colors. Gigi smiled. "I would like that, but today you are all the sunshine I need," she said. And here is Gigi with her umbrella trying to protect herself from the sun rays. Now, there's the ice cream truck man. "And one day," said Wilson, "I will fix Gigi's windows so she can open them wide and feel the breeze." "That's a fine idea," said the ice cream man. "Fresh air is good for the soul." "One day," said Wilson, "I will build a fence around the yard so you can have a dog to keep you company." "I would like that," said Gigi, "but today I have all the company I need." Isn't she grateful? She's just grateful for everything she has. And Wilson is trying to get her to improve her home, the colors of her house, the windows so she can feel the breeze, and much more. "One day," said Wilson, "I will fix the stairs so Gigi can sit on the balcony and see forever." "That's a beautiful idea," said a passing neighbor. "Everyone enjoys a pretty view," agreed her friend. "One day," said Wilson, "I will fix a chimney so you can make a fire to keep you cozy." "I would like that," said Gigi, "but today you are all the warmth I need." You can see the little drawing of a chimney there. And since we live in West Virginia, it can get cold in the winter. So having our chimney fixed and in good repair is a good idea. "One day," said Wilson, "I will fix the roof on Gigi's house to keep out the wind and snow." "That's a smart idea," said the librarian. "There's nothing better than a snug house on a wintry day." And you can see Wilson there in the library, in the local library. I hope that you go to the local library in your community or in your school so you can get to read many books as wonderful as this one. "One day," said Wilson, "I will fix your piano so you can play music again." "I would like that," said Gigi, "but today you are the song in my heart." Isn't she sweet? Here she is in front of her piano. I hope you get to learn how to read music. I don't, although I love music. I love to listen to it. I can play a little piano by ear, but I don't know how to read music. That's something on my bucket list that I need to learn. I hope you do. "One day," said Wilson, "I will plant a garden for Gigi so she can be surrounded by flowers." "That's a great idea," said Wilson's teacher. "It's fun to watch things grow." And here they are in their classroom, which I hope you get to enjoy your classroom as well, and your teacher. There's a lot to be learned from our professors and teachers all throughout the state. "One day," said Wilson, and there's nothing else on those 2 pages. He seems to be holding a broom. Let's see what's next. "One day is here. Everybody showed up. You can see them all in the yard. I think they're ready to do some work, right?" You remember the beginning of the book when they were rallying up neighbors to basically go through that wish list of fixing so many things in that one house. You can see here how Gigi is all impressed by everything that is being done by all the neighbors. They're repairing windows, they're fixing the yard, they're painting the home, they're adjusting and actually tuning the piano. And there's the man right here trying to clean that chimney. And look at it. The house looks wonderful. So clean, so well painted, with people just enjoying a good time around the house. "And one day," said Gigi, "is a very nice day indeed." "One day," said Wilson, "is the best day ever." Gigi smiled. "The very best," she agreed, "just like you." What a beautiful story, and what a great example of what you can do for those you love, for the people you appreciate in your neighborhood. You can always lend a hand, particularly to our older folks. Sometimes they cannot do things for themselves. Many times they do. But it doesn't hurt to ask and be able to be helpful to our neighbors. With that, we have finished this book. I hope you are enjoying Energy Express this year, and that this summer is just full of wonderful surprises, wonderful learning, and great experiences. Once again, I'm Jorge Atiles, Dean of Extension, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. Enjoy.
Now, WVU is a great place to get an education, but it's also a place you can have a lot of fun. Did you know there's a bowling alley in the bottom of the mountain layer? Well, I didn't either, but we asked Maddi and Arden, 2 members of our Extension video team, to give us a little tour and show us some things to do around campus.
Hey guys, I'm Arden and I'm the multimedia intern here at WVU Extension, and I'm also a WVU student.
And my name is Maddi and I am the graduate assistant here at WVU Extension Communications, and I'm also a graduate student here at WVU.
Now, we've been really hard at work trying to make sure that Energy Express is great for you guys this year.
Yeah, we're actually on the team of communicators that help put together the videos that you guys have been watching every day. So when the team approached Arden and I and said that they wanted us, the WVU students, to film a video about WVU, we thought we'd take you guys around to have some fun.
Now, we put together a list of some of the most unique, or maybe things that you didn't know that you could do at WVU, and we're gonna take you along and show you.
So we are inviting you guys on a little bit of a WVU tour with us up in Morgantown as we take you around to some of the most unique parts of campus.
Let's go, Mountaineers!
So on our first stop today to show you guys around campus, we're gonna show you something that maybe you might have known about campus, and this is how we as students get around from our classes.
So WVU is actually a really big college campus. It goes through the city of Morgantown, and we have 3 different areas that the students need to be able to get to at any time. That is downtown, Evansdale, and health sciences.
So back in the day, WVU decided that they needed to come up with another way for students to get around campus other than walking and driving the bus.
Yeah, the hills are brutal.
Absolutely. So they came up with a system called the Personal Rapid Transit System, otherwise known as
the PRT.
And that is how students can get around to all the different areas of campus. So no one actually drives each PRT car, but there is a station in the middle where all the engineers will work and remotely drive all the vehicles that students get on. So WVU actually has 5 different PRT stations that students can use around the Morgantown area.
There are Walnut and Beechhurst, which are downtown, Engineering, which will take you to Evansdale, and Towers, which is also in Evansdale, and Health Sciences.
So all students have to do is walk up to a station, swipe their student ID, and they can hop aboard a PRT.
So one of our favorite PRT traditions is the PRT Cram, which happens every year during Mountaineer Week.
Yeah, so normally about 12 people will fit on a PRT car comfortably, but every year we try to see how many students we can cram into one PRT car. So if 12 people normally fit on a PRT car, what do you guys think is the record for the PRT cram? Should we do a drum roll?
Yeah, drum roll.
Ready? 97. 97 girls from the Chi Omega sorority laid on top of the ground and stacked on top of each other like pancakes.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
I just want to know, what was the girl thinking that was like, put me on the
my
bottom,
gosh,
I'll
yeah.
go first. I have nightmares about that.
Man, I love the PRT.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. We're one of the only campuses in the world to offer a system like it. But with that, I think we should head to our next stop on campus.
For our next stop, we're gonna head to the Mountain Lair.
The Mountain Lair is what we call at WVU a student union. That's pretty much just a fancy word for saying that it's the living room of the university.
Now that's where students like to hang out between before and after classes.
Yeah, and in the basement of the Mountain Lair, there's actually something pretty special that is a lot of fun. The bowling alley.
My living room doesn't have a bowling alley.
So we are gonna take you guys to the bowling alley to hang out with the extension crew.
Located in the basement of the Mountain Lair, the Mountaineer Lanes has provided generations of fun since its opening in 1968. During the week, students can bowl at a discounted rate, and on weekends, students get to bowl for free. Featuring our own bowling shoes, dozens of bowling balls, and 16 lanes, WVU students don't even have to leave campus to enjoy this beloved pastime. The Mountain Lair Bowling Alley is a great location, whether you want to just have some casual fun time with your friends, or whether you want to be really competitive and bowl on one of our league and club teams.
I always thought it would be a fun idea to have some relaxing time with the communications department.
The Mountain Lair Bowling Alley provides as a way for WVU students to take a break from their studies and have some fun with their fellow Mountaineers.
Yeah, just some easy-going bowling, you know. We're not really competitive here at Extension.
Now I think I played the best game of my life. I got an 82.
I got a 92.
Okay, maybe we are a little competitive at Extension. Keeping with the athletics, we have a recreation center here at WVU. To learn a little bit more about the rec center, we're gonna head over there right now.
Let's go.
Hi, my name is Matthew Hickey. I'm an operations supervisor here at the Student Rec Center. I'm in my 4th year here studying sports psychology. We are basically a pretty big gym. We have an upper fitness, a lower fitness, as well as a pool, which has a whirlpool and a hot tub, as well as we also have a rock wall. If you're at the university attending classes, you have free access to the gym, so it's really convenient. We also have the PRT, and the PRT leads up right to the gym, so pretty much anywhere you are on campus, you can have access to the facility. As far as sports, we offer intramural sports year-round, so we have like different sessions throughout the year. Anyone is free to sign up, and you can play anything from baseball to soccer, flag football, volleyball, just about anything you could think of, we have it. And then we also have club sports, which those are a little bit separate from us, but those are a little bit more competitive. Intramurals are more just kind of like you mess around with your friends. Favorite part about working at the rec center is interacting with all the different types of people that come through the doors. So we see anywhere from 5-year-old kids coming to use the pool to 70-year-old faculty members to 19-year-old students. So you really get it all. You get to interact with so many different people and really just like, I don't know, just learning the facility. I've been here for 4 years now, so it's like I know just about everyone in the building and I know all the patrons that come in, and it's just a really cool experience. The entire staff that you see when you come into the building, like working the fitness floors, working at the desk, they're all student employees. So you like form a bond with your coworkers, but then it's also the friends that you see like in your classes and around Morgantown. You see them come into the gym. So you're constantly just interacting with people you know as you work. It's a really fun environment. I hope you all have fun exploring around the rec center today.
So we're pretty much almost wrapped up here at the rec center, but there's one important place that we haven't shown you guys yet. So Arden and I are going to rock, paper, scissors to see who has to take one for the team. You ready? Mm-hmm. Paper, scissors, shoot. Looks like it's me. Back in the day, I was on the swim team in 2006.
Well, that was fun.
Thank you guys so much for spending the day with us, going all over campus, trying fun and unique things that maybe you didn't know about.
But we gotta get back to work.
We got a show to edit. See you guys later. Bye.
Now it's time to talk about respect. And to do that, we'll join our friend Meshea Poore. She's West Virginia University's Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Hello friends, Meshea Poore here, Vice President for the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at West Virginia University. Let's talk. Today, let's talk about respect, one of WVU's core values. Every person deserves respect, and every person should show respect. So, how do we do that? Well, we respect each other when we listen to understand a different point of view or learn about someone else's experiences. We respect each other when we really listen, and I mean really listen for understanding. We are not all meant to think the same or see the world the same. It's good to learn about others and how they see the world. And we are respectful when we listen to others without making fun of them or attacking them when they think differently from us. So, what do you do if somebody is disrespectful towards you? First, breathe. You control you. We must respect ourselves enough to not lose control and become disrespectful to others. And second, tell a trusted adult, someone like a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, or a coach. So like they say, when you know better, you do better, and we all can do better. See you next time.
Confession. There was a time when I was really afraid of this speed bump we have on our street, but I'm slowly getting over it.
Hello, my name is Kerri Carte. I work for WVU Extension Service in the Kanawha County office, and today we are going to make BLT lettuce wraps. Now before we begin, make sure you've thoroughly washed your hands. I've already washed mine, and I have washed and sanitized my whole front area here, as well as washing off all my vegetables. So everything is clean and ready to go, and let's get started. We're going to start with a nice ripe tomato. If you have a tomato knife, you can use that, a serrated edge. If you have a very sharp knife, it'll work. We're just gonna quickly dice up our tomato. You wanna take out the core. If you're using homegrown tomatoes, remember your core might be kind of large, so you have to take it out. You want this in bite-sized pieces, not overly large, but just, you know, a nice bite size. See, I have a very sharp knife that will easily go through my entire tomato. Okay, and I'm just going to scoop that up. It takes about a cup, about 1 tomato, if you will. When the tomatoes are nice and ripe from the farmer's market, they're nice and juicy. You'll have lots of juice that comes with this salad. All right, now we've got our tomato diced and in the bowl. I'm going to go ahead and work on our cucumber. Now I'm using an English cucumber, which is a nice cucumber. It's a very dense cucumber. It doesn't have a whole lot of seeds in it, which is what I like. Now, if you're going to be pulling it from the farmer's market or from your own garden, it's going to have a lot more seeds in it. Yours from the garden will have a nice outside texture. You want to keep the skin because that's where a lot of your fiber is. If you buy from a grocery store and it's been imported, it'll have a layer of wax on it. And you want to peel the wax off because the wax doesn't taste good. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and slice off a little bit of this because it does have you know, the outside edge is a little crunchy. I want to keep some of it for the fiber, but not quite all of the outside skin. So I've taken off the skin. Now it's best if you take out the seeds when you make this. Some people like the seeds. If you want to keep them in, that's fine. These are small. You could keep them in, but like I said, if you're pulling them from the farmer's market, it's going to have large seeds. I just take and go right down. See, I cut it in quarters and I'm pulling the seeds right out. Once you get the seeds out, you're just going to line it up and dice it. Again, you want it in bite-sized pieces, not too big, especially since we're going to make a wrap out of it. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in my bowl with my tomatoes. And the next thing we're going to use is we're going to chop some scallions up, or green onions, if you will. Okay, green onions are very reasonably priced. They've got a wonderful flavor. They're not quite as strong as a regular onion would. I always peel off the outside edge, and then I'm just going to chop them. If you don't like a lot of onions, don't put much in. If you love green onions, put a lot in. It's a salad, so you can kind of make it how you want. Okay, and I wouldn't go all the way to the end. I'd just go close to the end. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my scallions in there. Now the next ingredient we want to use is bacon. If you use a turkey bacon, that is much healthier for you. I knew I was going to be making this, so when I went ahead and cooked bacon the other morning, I just made a couple extra pieces. I've chopped it up, nice pieces. I'm going to dump that in the top. And our dressing is simply low-fat mayonnaise. Nothing to it, easy. Just a couple tablespoons. That's a generous couple tablespoons, but it will be just fine. Doesn't need any extra added salt because you get all the salt from the bacon. And we're just going to kind of lightly toss and stir this up. Now, a lot of salads are good if they sit for, 24, 48 hours. This is the exception to the rule. The longer this salad sits, the more weepy it gets. All your tomatoes and your cucumbers will weep out all their liquid and it will become a little mushy. So this is a salad best made right before you're going to serve it. Now, you could end it right there and serve it in a bowl just like that. And see how good that looks? It's nice and yummy. It's very fresh and crisp. The other thing you could do is take lettuce wraps and make wraps if you want to be fancy about it. Now you want a lettuce wrap, a lettuce leaf that is very pliable. So a Boston Bibb or a just a regular Bibb lettuce. You're gonna put a nice scoop in there, put it right in the center. You're gonna take and you're gonna fold your sides in just like you would a burrito and roll it, keeping all the goodies inside, and set it down on the plate. Let me show you one more time. A nice piece of lettuce, a nice scoop full of that salad, and roll it just like a burrito. The sides in, the bottom edge, and then flip it over. And sometimes they fall apart, which makes them fun to eat. But that's it, simply lettuce wraps. I hope you enjoy and have a great day.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Energy Express. We'll be right back here tomorrow. We hope you will too. See you then.